So EA have surprised me very recently with the release of Skate, and an original IP, a great game, one they'll no doubt run into the ground later, but was an absolutely awesome game. So I finally start to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think maybe they can redeem themselves for Black and all that other crap they've unleashed upon the world in the last, say, 5 years. And so I get Need for Speed Pro Street, and then no, they can't. They've completely wrecked it again. Need for Speed Pro Street is probably it's the emo kid in the class. He doesn't know what he wants to be yet. He kind of wants to be the underground street racer, but at the same time he wants to be the serious technical racer. And he's having a confidence of crisis, and it really makes what was originally a very kind of entry level racing game even more so. Just the confusion the game has on what it wants to be just wrecks it completely, because it was always about being an underground racer and running from the coppers. That's what it always was about. As much as, you know, the mums are going to hate me saying that, that's what it was always about. It was always living out that fantasy. But now they've kind of grown a moral conscience, and they've started listening to the focus groups that tell them that video games cause violence and bad behaviour, and they've decided to put you on the track, which defeats the purpose of going around getting your parts and racing people on streets. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a gamer. I just play the damn things. So you start off, and you're in the battle machine tournaments, and you race through these battle machine races, and in those races you're given cars you have to use to compete, which are evenly matched. Then you have individual races where you race your actual cars, and you can tune them up and you do all that kind of stuff, and damage is in it and stuff like that. But because it doesn't know what it wants to be, it's lost its path. And what was originally, you know, an okay game is now a mediocre game. So I'm going to go straight to some scores, because I really don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to go play something good like Mario Galaxy or Mass Effect or something. Graphics. It looks okay, but it doesn't have the level of polish that the old ones had. Not that they were great, but it's all about fully sick tricking out your car. You can do it in this, but then you smash it anyway, and that looks good. That's the one thing I'll give it. The damage looks fairly good. It just doesn't have too much of an effect on your car. So once again, they haven't got the simulation thing right, because they've never made a simulation game. It just seems silly to me. So the graphics, I'm going to give a 5 out of 10, because there's so many other car racing games out there that look magnificent. Project Gotham 4, I'm looking at you. Sound. Now, I've never liked the stick or their music that the game has always produced. The soundtrack is dreadful. The voiceovers are awful. You know, luckily enough, you don't get to hear Crystal speak, because I reckon I'd stab myself in the ears if I had to do that. And it's just dreadful. Sound, 3 out of 10. Gameplay, as I say, if it had stuck to its guns and tried to be what it was, it might have been alright. It does do a few things well. The driving engine's not bad. It's not Forza, but it's not bad. Using a clutch in the drag racing might actually give it that little bit of skill. There's a couple of things that it does right, but for everything it does right, it does plenty of stuff that's just terrible. At the start, it's far too easy. If you don't turn off the traction control and stuff, it's automatically on. That's just silly. It just, you know, and I can tell that they're trying to bring the arcade races into a sim game. It's not going to work, and it's not going to be a Need for Speed game that does that. 5 out of 10. So that's going to give us, what, a 4 out of 10, possibly my lowest score ever, and one that EA has more than earned. I'm sure Jamie will love me giving a 4 out of 10 for something I didn't like for a change, and while it was serviceable, it certainly wasn't great. So look for something else. Pick up Project Gotham, pick up Forza. They're both pretty cheap. It's certainly worth it. But, you know, the game probably summed it up when it decided to use a Big Brother celebrity to give themselves credibility. Who would do that?